guys? How are you? How are you guys? Anyway, so I'm making this video to do a crazy story. I know it's been a while. It has been a while since I have recorded a video like this talking about a crazy story. I know it's been so long. Anyway, so what made me think about this particular story? First of all, I recorded this story 3 years ago and I had to take it down because the file was corrupted and it wouldn't play, and I had to re-record it. But I never re-recorded it. And so I'm going to talk about it now. But the reason I'm talking about it now is because I saw the person. So, yeah, this is the time where I got stalked by someone that I met on a dating website. Well, I did not physically meet this person on the dating website, but we'll get into it, okay? So, back in the day, okay, like 3 years ago, I would not ever do this again, by the way. I was on a dating website. And I went on a couple of dates or whatever, and this man messaged me, and I'm gonna call him Eddie. His name is not Eddie, but I'm gonna call this crazy motherfucker Eddie, okay? So, I got a message from Eddie, okay? Sent me a message and he's like, "Hi, ma'am, you're so beautiful, ma'am." Obviously, he was African or Nigerian, something of that area. And I said hello to him. And I looked at his profile. He had like 3 pictures, and they were the weirdest pictures. It was one picture of him with a goat in the background, and it's like, why you putting a picture of yourself with a fucking goat on a dating profile? I don't know, child, but he had a picture of himself with a goat. Then he had another picture of himself with a bike and a car, and he was doing like this or something. And then he had another picture of himself with a phone, and then he had these busted looking toes, popping out of his shoes. He had like flip-flops on. It wasn't remotely attractive, okay? None of this was attractive. It was just weird. And then his entire dating profile was written in broken English, so I didn't even bother. I just scammed it, I skimmed it over. And I was like, okay, no, I don't want to talk to this dude. He don't even speak English like that. And I ain't trying to get through all that. I'm not trying to do all that. So I did not find him attractive. Now, I'm not a person that's big on looks. I am more attracted to personality. Looks are not, important to me. Looks fade. Personalities are forever. Just remember that, okay? Anyway, so he messaged me. He's like, "Hi, ma'am, you're beautiful, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm not interested in talking to you." And I didn't feel like I would have a way to get to know him because of the whole language barrier anyway. He didn't really speak English like that, so I was just like, I don't know, like, why am I even gonna waste my time? So I was like, "I'm sorry, sir, I'm not really interested in talking to you." So he's like, "Why, ma'am? And you're very beautiful, ma'am." He kept saying ma'am, like, after every word he said, he kept saying ma'am. So I was just like, okay, so all right. So I just ignored his messages, right? And he kept sending me messages to the point where I had like, I'm not even going to exaggerate. I'm going to try to be honest about the number, because I had a whole bunch of other messages too. But I think I had at least 15 of those messages from him. I didn't respond to him. When it got to a large amount, I blocked him. So I didn't think nothing of it. But then the motherfucker made another profile to message me again. And he was angry, like clearly angry in his broken English messages to me. Why you block me, ma'am? Like, and see, like, I had screenshots and everything for this. But they are not in this phone. They did not. This is a new phone, by the way. Like, I had a Note 8 before, but it cracked, and this is my replacement phone. All of my stuff is not in it, and I had screenshots as proof, but I'm just gonna try to remember everything without my screenshots. But y'all know it's true, because I ain't with the phony shit. So anyway, so he was like angrily messaging me like, why you block me, ma'am? I just want to be good to you. I love you. And he told me he loved me in the messages, and I had put in my profile that I had children. I pretty much put that I had one child, and then I had my lizards. I called them my children at the time. So I put that I had children in the profile, because at the time I didn't have Serena. He was like, I'll love you and your child and your lizards. Like, but it was such broken English, right? So I messaged him back and I said, sir, I'm not interested in speaking to you. Please leave me alone. I'm going to block you. So I'm the type of person, I don't really block people like that unless they get like real out of pocket with me. But I blocked him like right away because he was doing too much. Now, at first I didn't want to block him because I felt like, what did I feel like at the time? Like, I don't know what I felt like. It's just me, that's just me as a person. I don't always block people. But it's some people who stay on my permanent block list. But anyway, so I blocked him again, and he made another profile, but this time when he sent me a series of 10 messages, I blocked him again. I didn't even respond. So when I blocked him again, I just got offline because I was just like, forget this, like, no. So that next day I had to go to work. So I went to work, and I'm in the back, like in the stock room of my job. So as I'm in the stock room, I was pulling out an HRAC because I was doing markdowns. So I was pulling out the HRAC, and I'm getting all my supplies together, and I'm standing at the door of the stock room. And you know how it's like those big doors and then it have those windows? That's where I was standing at. So I'm standing there, and I was near the baby section. That's where the stock room is. So I'm looking out, trying to see my area where I was marking down, which just so happened to be the baby section that day. I remember this very vividly, okay? So when I look up, when I was coming out of the stock room with my supplies, I had my gun, my printer, and my HRAC, and I'm pulling it, and I looked up front, and I was like, who is that? He looks familiar. Like, I ain't put two and two together that quick, okay? So I see somebody coming to my store. He looked familiar to me, but I didn't know who he was. I was like, why? Who is that? Like, who is him? He looks so familiar. And then I ain't think nothing of it. So my coworker, Jamal, that was his name, I walked up to him and I'm just chatting it up with him because we used to do markdowns together. So I'm chatting it up with him and we're talking. We're talking and everything. And I'm like, I don't know where I know this person from, but they look so familiar to me. So he's like, what you mean? You know, because he was gay. And he's like, what you mean? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, he just looked real familiar to me for some reason. I just don't know where I know him from. So then he walks in and I see him walking straight. He's walking straight. And he walks straight to me. And he asked me, hi, ma'am, can you help me? And when he said, ma'am, I knew exactly who the fuck he was. So I backed up and I was like, and he's like, you're so much beautiful in person. Ma'am, you're so beautiful. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So then I went in the stock room. He followed me to the stock room by the windows. So I called the store and Jamal answered the phone and I said to him, hey, this dude is following me. I know him. I recognized him from the dating profile. And I said, I blocked him online and he kept harassing me last night. What do I do? So then I told my manager at the time, I don't want to say her name, but I'm going to call her Jocelyn. I don't know. I'm going to call her Jocelyn. So Jocelyn, she not at my store no more. She been long gone. But I told her what was going on and she was like, well, do you want me to call the cops? And I was like, no, can you just make him leave? Like, could you have, you know, the security make him leave? So she's like, all right, I'll do that. So they called SPS to the stock room. I explained to SPS and I was also friends with SPS. And I told him, I said, hey, I met this dude. Well, I didn't meet him online. He just showed up here. Now, mind you, one of my pictures that was on my dating profile, which so happened to be my profile picture, okay, had my name badge on it and where I worked at with my extra dumb ass. Had my city where I lived, of course. He put 2 and 2 together from my name badge in the city, which is why I never put my city on nothing, okay? And he came to my job. Walked right in, straight to me. Now, how he knew I was at work, I don't know. But SPS made him leave, right? So, I continued my shift. Nothing else going on, you know, whatever. Continued my shift. What the fuck? So when my shift was over and I was going home, I was walking to my car. Guess who was in the parking lot waiting on me? Eddie. He was right there waiting in the parking lot. And I told the motherfucker, I said, look, bitch. I ain't say bitch. I just I said, look, I'm not interested in what the fuck you doing, and I'm scared. You're scaring me. So please leave me alone before I have to whoop your ass. Like, don't just be thinking that, you know, I ain't say all this extra stuff. I'm just saying this as an ad lib, okay? Um, don't be thinking just because you a little tiny bit taller that you can't get this work, okay? Cause I beat your ass. You better leave me the fuck alone, okay? I said that part. My exact words. I need to stop ad-libbing and just tell y'all what the fuck I said. I'm sorry. Oh God. I told him, I said, look, I'm not with this shit. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't know what you're trying to do. Leave me alone. I ain't with it. Ma'am, I love you. You're so beautiful. I love you, ma'am. I love you. And he kept saying, ma'am. And it was just, I don't get, motherfucker. Like, I could hear the way he was saying that shit, and it was just, it's gross. Like, his voice sounded as if, like, it sounded like he had like a bunch of spit or something in his throat. I don't know if y'all understand what I mean when I say that, but you know how when somebody talk and it sounds like something in their mouth and it's nothing there, but that's just the way that they talk for some reason. It was just gross. Like, he was just gross. And then he showed up looking damn near similar to the profile pictures. The only thing he was missing was the fucking goat. I mean, he had on closed-toed shoes, but I seen those old busted up ass feet on his pictures on his profile. So told him to leave me alone, back the fuck up, blah blah blah. I beat your ass, leave me alone. And I got in my car and I left. So I went home. Earlier that day, I mean not earlier that day, later on in that day, I got in my car to leave. I drove up the street. I was going to my uncle's house. Drove up the street. As I was driving up the street, I see this motherfucker on my street. So I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I didn't stop. I just made eye contact with him as I was driving down the street. So I'm like, what the fuck is he doing on my street now? Like, what is this? So I was like, no, I'm not doing this. So I'm like, I went and did what I was finna do, and then I came back home. When I came back home, the motherfucker was across the street from my house. He wasn't at my house. He was there, but he was directly across the street from my house. So I figured it was no point in driving by and acting like I didn't live there, because I felt like the motherfucker already knew that. So yeah, I parked the car. I got out, got my stuff, my bags, because I went to the store. And I stared at him. I didn't say nothing. This time I didn't say anything, because I already gave the motherfucker a warning. So then I went in the house, waited 10 minutes just to see what was finna happen. I look out my window. What do you know? Eddie's still standing outside across the street from my house. So I called a friend of mine, and I was like, boom, hey, what's up? There's somebody stalking me from the dating website. And he's like, what do you mean stalking? Like, what? I said, like, he's standing outside of my house across the fucking street. Like, what do I do? And he's like, what you mean? Call the fucking police. And I was like, yeah, see, I be having some issues with calling the police, but I'm gonna take your advice this time, because I really do be having some issues with calling I don't like to call the police. We gonna get into that another time. But I already told that story about the police I had a really bad experience with the police. But anyway, it was Hollywood PD, by the way. They some bitches. So I called the police and they came to my house. Motherfucker was still standing there. He was just standing there, and then at this time he was looking on his phone trying to act like, you know, just trying to act like he was just working on his phone or some shit. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do. And I told the police, I said, I'm on, a dating website. This person messaged me on that dating website. I did not tell him where I live. I blocked him 3 times on 3 different profiles. He kept making profiles to message me. I have not checked the dating profile since that happened, since the last time I blocked him. I didn't give him enough information about myself for him to, he came to my job, okay? First of all, I told him that. He came to my job, and then he came to my house. I said, I never gave this person this much information about me for him to have known all of this stuff. So, can you please make this motherfucker leave? So they went to go and talk to him. And they come back and tell me that dude told them that he's my boyfriend and we're arguing and I kicked him out of the house and he's waiting for me to calm down. This is what he told the motherfucking police, y'all, okay? Bitch told the police that he was my boyfriend and we were fucking fighting and I kicked him out of the house. And he's waiting for me to calm down. So I said, I don't know him. I don't even know the motherfucker's name. And he telling y'all that he's my boyfriend. So they were like, how does he know where you work? I said, I don't know. So then that's when I put 2 and 2 together about my profile picture and where I put my city at. So I showed them my profile to show them the messages that he was sending me and showing them that I didn't give him any information about myself. So I showed them, and that's when I saw my profile picture and it had my name badge and where I work at. And then my city was on my profile. So I said, I think I see what happened here. And they were like, what? I said, my name is on my badge right there. And then my city is right there. I think he just figured it out. So she was like, that's pretty. She's like, that's pretty. What did she say? Not convenient. I think she said ballsy or something like that. It was like 4 officers there, and I told them the situation. They made him leave. So she was like, we can, put a trespass order on him and this, that, and a third, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, cool. Right? Right. Okay, right. So a few days passed by. Okay, a few days passed by. I'm at work again. I was in the fitting room at my job, and he comes to try on clothes. So as he comes to try on clothes, I said, oh hell no. Cause I ain't pay attention until I looked up to see who it was standing in front of me with some fucking clothes to try on. So I called the manager. I said, oh hell no. So I called the manager. This motherfucker is here, okay? I got a trespass order on him because he came to my fucking house when I left work that day. Please get this nigga the fuck out of here. I didn't say it like that, but damn it, I wish I had said it like that, okay? So SPS make dude leave. He was fighting, talking about, I'm just trying to buy clothes, miss. I'm trying to buy clothes, miss. And that's one thing about him that I hated I can't stand it. He was very repetitive in his words, like miss, ma'am. Like every word he said was followed by, like, it depended on who he was talking to. He would use the correct pronouns. Like if it was sir, like sir please sir, ma'am please ma'am. Like his words were very repetitive, and it was so annoying. Like I just wanted to hit him in the face, you know. It was so annoying. So then when they made him leave, because he kept saying he wanted to try on clothes, bullshit. When they made him leave, I got off work. There was a note on my car with his phone number. I went right to the damn police station and I said, the man showed up at my job again. What the fuck do I do? Now those were my exact words. I said, what the fuck am I supposed to do at this point? Like, I don't know this motherfucker. Why does he keep following me everywhere? So the big climax event right here. I was going to Walmart with Athena one day. I was holding Athena's hand. We're walking into Walmart, shopping around. I'm in the kids section, looking at kids clothes and stuff, asking Athena if she would like this and that and whatever. Went to the fitting room, had my baby try on her clothes, and I'm just standing there. And then I look around, because my baby trying on clothes, and I told her to come out, let me see what she's wearing, and whatever. Because she was, grown at that time. She was, able to put her clothes on and stuff. Even though she was like 5 at the time. 4 or 5. She was around that age. But she was really independent real quick. So anyway, I was looking around and I see somebody in the shoe department. And it was weird because I felt like they were looking at me. So then I turned and I'm like, you know how you try to convince yourself that shit ain't fucked up when it's fucked up? That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. I was in denial. I was in complete denial that I was being stalked by a Nigerian motherfucker that I met on a damn dating website. Well, I did not meet him. The motherfucker put 2 and 2 together and found out what the fuck I work at and what the fuck I live at. And see, bitch, that's why I don't put my motherfucking city on nothing. Like, all these fake addresses that I put out into the air, okay? I don't put my real city on shit, okay? Nothing. Nathan. Alright. Anyway. So, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I was in denial. So, I'm like, Athena, put your clothes on. Let's go. Because I knew in my gut something wasn't right. Because my heart started racing. So, I'm like, Athena, let's go. Like, and I told her to open the door so I could hurry up and get her dressed. So, me and her, I'm putting on her clothes and we leaving out. I just left the shit because I didn't even want to stay and pay for nothing. So we're walking out, and then I hear somebody's walking up. Ma'am, please, ma'am, hello, ma'am. And I turn around and it's this motherfucker, Eddie. Eddie, crazy motherfucking ass. And I said, don't fucking talk to me. Leave me alone. I'm with my child. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. So I pick Athena up and I'm running with my baby. Like, I don't know what this motherfucker is capable of, what he feel like he got to keep talking to me for. I just don't fucking know. But I do know that if he tries some stupid shit, he was gonna get stabbed like a motherfucker that day, okay? Because I had my baby with me. Now, if it was just me, he just got his ass beat. But I had Athena with me. Nigga would have got stabbed. I'm just keeping it fucking real, okay? I'm gonna protect my baby no matter what. You ain't about to do no dumb shit and think you gonna be cool. Nope. Nope. Nigga would have got stabbed. So I'm yelling at him for him to leave me alone, and other people heard what was going on. And one man, some big swole, he wasn't like muscular, he was just big, you know, but he was swole looking. White man walked up and said, "Ma'am, are you all right?" I said, "No, this man keeps following me and my child." And he's like, "Sir, why don't you just leave the woman alone?" And so the dude told him, Eddie told a white man, "Oh, this is my girlfriend. She's just mad at me right now." I said, "I'm not his girlfriend. I don't know who this man is. I don't know him. I don't know him. He keeps following me. I don't know him." So the lady, I guess his wife, the white man's wife, called the police. So the police came, and I, explained to them. It was the same city police department that came before. So I explained to them, this man keeps following me from the dating website, blah, 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 all that, whatever. So all that happened. Next thing I know, they arrest the dude because it's blatant that he's following me, right? So they arrested him. So when they arrested him, he bailed out. But I don't know exactly what happened, but apparently he was here illegally. So something happened with his immigration process, and the fact that he was stalking me and all of that, his ass got deported. Right back to Nigeria. Got deported. So I ain't hear from him no more. He ain't messaged me on nothing. I deleted my dating profile because I was getting a lot of crazy shit. I done got death threats from being on that dating website. Like, a dude threatened to kill me and my baby because I didn't want to talk to him. I was stalked by another person off the dating website. So I was like, you know what? This shit ain't for me. So yeah, that's my story of the man who stalked me. Now, he got deported. So I told y'all earlier, the reason that I'm making this video is because I saw him. Yeah. So I was in Winn-Dixie today, and I'm walking around with my coworker. And as me and her were shopping together, because, we was talking about wine and stuff. So me and her were shopping together. And after we was done, paying for stuff, she went to work. I was going home. And in the parking lot, I saw the dude. And it was the weirdest fucking thing, because I was under the impression that when you get deported, you're not allowed to come back into the United States for 10 years. So I have no fucking idea what the fuck Eddie is doing back here. None whatsoever. But I saw him in the parking lot when I was done shopping. So I didn't give him a chance to say nothing to me. I got in my car. I saw him. He looked at me. We looked at each other. I got in my car and I fucking left. So I went home and I waited and I waited and I waited, and I didn't see him pop up to me. So I'm guessing he got back here illegally and don't want to risk having the police called on him. and getting deported again. I have no idea how the fuck he got here past customs, how the fuck he got here past the border. I don't know how the fuck the nigga got back, but I would never forget his fucking face. I remember him. I remember the motherfucker clear as day. So after that whole thing happened or whatever, I kept thinking about it and thinking about it. So I called the police to report it because I'm just like, you know, he was stalking me before a couple of years back. I don't know what he's capable of. And the thing about it, he was deported. So I don't know, like, what's going on? Like, did he get some paperwork done? Like, what is it? The officer was explaining to me about deportation and how it could be reversed in some cases or whatever. And he told me a whole bunch of smibbles, scribble, scrabble, and I don't remember all that shit. So he's telling me that he could be here legally, you know, and he could not be. Like, he would go and check it out, and he told me he would get back to me, but you know, I highly doubt that. Like, I don't know what the officer is gonna do, but this just happened, and it made me remember this story that I was supposed to record, and I completely fucking forgot. Well, re-record and completely forgot. So yeah, that's it. And hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to y'all later.